Welcome to Innovation Talks. Join us weekly as we discuss with distinguished industry guests how to refine and improve corporate innovation and new product development. Hosted by Paul Heller, Sopheon Chief Evangelist.
Do you want to revolutionize your approach to innovation? Dive into our free ebook designed for product managers and innovators. Discover how embracing an innovation ops strategy can turn chaos into control. You can download your copy now at sopheon.com/innovationops-ebook. That's sopheon.com/innovationops-ebook. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I hope you're having a great week. I hope your summer's going well. Or if you're on the other side of the equator, I hope your winter is not too bad this year. I wanted to talk today, and it's just me today, I wanted to talk about data in the world of innovation decision making. Just this past week, I came across two different articles and discussions related to the word data hygiene. And, that's been an issue for a long time. We can call it data hygiene now, but we used to call it data cleansing, data accuracy, a lot of words for it. In fact, I think it probably existed before the invention of IT technology. But for as long as I've been in the business dealing with databases and data cleansing has been a common topic. Just take a CRM system, customer relationship management system. In my experience, every once in a while, the question comes up and the task comes up. We need to clean our data. We need to clean up. Salespeople are busy. They're moving at a fast pace. They don't always have time to keep the data updated. Then they get behind. The further behind they get, the harder it is to catch up. And so it's really a challenge. And so before you know it, your CRM system is just out of date and you need to clean it up. And, data hygiene is all about clean data. And it's becoming really important now with AI. We're reading and hearing plenty of articles about the information that's going into the large language models for generative AI. And is that information trustworthy? Is generative AI giving us accuracy when it's answering our questions? Or is it simply repeating back a lot of inaccurate information? And Ramesh Kolapera, who's the CTO of Kellanova, and that's a pretty neat company if you want to check them out, he lists three key strategies, and one of which is AI. And his actual strategy statement is guardrails for AI. And in his guardrails for AI, he puts data hygiene. And, if you're in innovation, you need data, you need good data to make good decisions. It's hard to make good decisions with bad data. So we really want to get the good data. And innovation is full of data. We've got, sometimes it's words, sometimes it's text, it's knowledge, it's information, it's data, statistics. And innovation, let's face it, is full of personal assumptions, guesses, especially in the early days. And accuracy can be a challenge. You ever hear someone say, this product is absolutely going to change the future of our company? Is a statement like that accurate? If it's written down in an email or any kind of document, does that mean it's accurate? And what if the person is a true subject matter expert? Well, maybe it's more accurate than if it's just somebody who's just saying it to say it. So there's a lot of content that's going out there that's out there in the world of innovation that needs to be accurate, needs to be clean, needs to have hygiene around it. And that got me thinking about a common question I hear often related to innovation, which is, how can I trust the data? Especially when you're in a portfolio setting. How do I know this data is right? And if you were alive and a little bit older, maybe at least a teenager in the 1980s, you might remember a phrase called trust but verify. Our president at the time, Ronald Reagan, use that all the time when dealing with the Soviet Union. And it's actually a Russian proverb. A lot of people don't know that, but it makes sense that it comes from Russia. It's actually, I'm not going to try to pronounce it in Russian, but it actually is a rhyme. It rhymes together. Trust and verify, those words rhyme, so it's pretty neat. But so I started thinking, well, okay, if we need to trust the data, if we need to verify it, how do we verify it? And can we verify and have trusted data without needing to keep cleaning it? And what would that look like? How do we do that? And it's back to innovation. How do we get that good data to make good decisions? And I'd like to leave you with three concepts or three action items to get and maintain verified, trusted data that you can count on. The first one is, I think it's really important that with any kind of data, whether it be a figure, a number, or a text, or whatever it is, that we define our terminology. So, for example, take revenue, common term used in innovation, product revenue. Well, what does that mean? Are we talking 5-year revenue, 3-year revenue, revenue in year 3? What do we mean by revenue? And I think it's also, you have to, so what's the meaning? What's the purpose of that data? And also ownership. Ownership is important. Who owns it? So if you say that sales is the one who owns revenue for a new product, and you run that product concept by them, and they're part of the decision-making process to bring a new product to market, and if they say the revenue is $10 million, then they're the authority to say it. And if somebody else, a quality person, says the revenue is $10 million and they don't have the authority to say it, you just have to know that. You have to understand who owns it, who owns that number. And it's nice if sales owns it, because in the end, they're accountable for it. The second one, so the first one, define the terminology, which includes the meaning, the purpose, the ownership. The second one is verify it as part of a process. And if you're running an innovation process, whatever that process is, whatever that governance process or that decision-making process is, it really has to include verification of data, or you're missing a tremendous opportunity. So let's just take a gated decision-making process. So you have gatekeepers, and those gatekeepers are making a decision, let's say, to move a concept into a development or to take a product and launch it into market. If you're not using a gated process, you still have some kind of process with stakeholders who are making decisions based on information, based on data. So in the gated process, it's very clear. Here's the information that's brought in to help you make your decisions. Here's who makes those decisions. Here's the decisions they make. But one of the things we often forget is one of the key things those gatekeepers or those stakeholders need to do is verify the data. Put their thumb up, nod their head, say, I believe in that number. Let's just take sustainability, for example. Supposing a team comes in and they've said this new product, on a score from 0 to 10 for sustainability, it's a 10. Well, who better than the company's chief sustainability officer to say yes or no, maybe question that might not be accurate, in which case then the team, he or she would challenge the team to, what's the evidence for 10 on recyclability? How did you come up with that number? And they might say how they come up with it. And in the end, the gate decision, or the gatekeepers, if you follow a gated process, we often forget that there are a couple of, there's go, there's kill, there's recycle, which means go back. And because we need you to get sharper on this data. And there's also conditional go, which says we're going to move forward, but we need you to address this one particular issue. And so it might be that sustainability score. It might be that we can't make a decision unless we know recyclability, unless we're really confident on what that number is. Or we might agree to go ahead with the proviso that we really do get a better handle on recyclability. So if it becomes part of the process and you put people in the process and they know that one of the things they need to do is not just make a decision, but verify the data. And in some cases, you may even want to capture that discussion in that verification so that 5 years from now, when let's say the recyclability is not to the level we thought it was, why, what changed? What did we know at the time we said it was a 10? Those kind of things. So verifying it as part of the process is probably one of the most important things you do. One of the most important things of a gatekeeper or some kind of decision-making stakeholder, verifying the data. Then my third recommendation, so define the terminology, meaning, purpose, ownership, verify it as part of your governance process. The third one is then automatically flow it into portfolio management. Because at this point you can trust it. It's already been verified. So when you're looking at it in your portfolios, you don't have to question if what you're seeing is accurate. But don't re-enter it. That's probably a big mistake because people have disconnected systems. Is they re-enter the data. It's not, you may introduce error, but you may, at the time you're entering data, say, well, I know we said it was this number, this information before, but now it's a little bit different. So let me put what I think the current state of that information is. And the minute you do that, you've lost your verification. You ever have someone say in a meeting, you put your charts up, and somebody raises their hand and says, I don't believe you, or I don't believe that data. So if you can trace it back to where it was verified, then you can respond to a challenge like that. And yes, you may have some data that's not verified, and that's just part of doing portfolio management. But if you have that additional data, make sure that everyone is aware of that, and that this is data that was not vetted as part of our governance process. So 3 just immediate techniques that I'd recommend anybody do to try to get their data to a much higher level of verification, of accuracy, of trustability, and that's the beauty of a gated process, is it just naturally does that for you. Now back to AI for a minute, because I mentioned it earlier. I've also been hearing a term which is a little scary, called synthetic data. And that's going to make all our decision making related to innovation and new products a lot harder. And so at this point, my advice is just keep a sharp eye out for it. Look for synthetic data, spot it, and then think about, okay, what are we going to do with that data? How are we going to consider it as part of our decision making? So there you go, just a few concepts for this week. Hope you found that valuable and got something out of it. I wish you all a great week ahead. Take care, everybody. Bye for now.
Thanks for joining us this week for Innovation Talks with Paul Heller. If you enjoyed the show, please like and subscribe on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. For additional information on today's topic, check out Sopheon.com, Sopheon.com, where you will find plenty of innovation-centric content and corporate best practices. If you'd like to discuss anything with Paul or would like to get in touch with the show, email us at talks@sopheon.com.